Okay, so hello and very good evening. I hope you guys can hear me. So Rakshitha, Kammara. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. So let me just give me 1 minute. I have given you permission to share the screen. Okay, so please share the screen and tell me the name of your task. You can start when I tell you to start. Okay?
Okay. Hello, sir.
Okay, but you are not visible, Rakshitha. Yeah, now you are visible. Okay,
Can I start, sir?
yeah, you can.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kammara Rakshitha, and I'm from Embedded Systems and IoT Group. And today my task is about sensors interfacing and data acquisition. And at the end of this presentation, we can able to learn here is the contents, what is meant by sensors, and the different types of sensors, applications of the different types of sensors, data acquisition system, physical systems, and what is meant by transducers, A2D converters, and finally conclusion. At first, nothing but Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is nothing but the small device to connected to the internet and being able to do our work is known as some IoT devices. And these sensors are the one type of the IoT device. Sensor is nothing but it can measure some something in the environment and so these sensors are available in different types. So we can see in this PPT one by one. Here it is the different types of sensors like IR sensors, gyroscope sensors, accelerometer sensors, photoresistor sensors, water flow sensors, gas sensor, like this. In our day-to-day life, we can use different types of sensors in our homes as well as industries and also in our surroundings also. So these are the different types of sensors and their applications I mentioned in the before slide. And the first type of the sensor is the temperature sensor. These temperature sensors have the three pins. One pin is for supply, another pin is for ground, and another pin is for output. These require a very small voltage, that is 3.3 voltage. It can able to take up to 5 voltage, so that for connecting this temperature sensor for getting the information from our surroundings, we can use a Arduino board. We can see this type of temperature sensors in our home applications like refrigerators, ACs, ovens, like this. So it is a type of sensor which can able to measure the temperature from the surroundings, and we can able to see this measurement in the digital as well as in analog form also. And and the second one pin, another pin is for ground and another pin is for output. And here we can able to see two LEDs. One is in black color, another is in white color. Uh, what is meant by IR? IR is nothing but infrared rays. When we give some that is white to this white LED. So like this IR sensor can work. We can use this IR sensor in our remotes when we used to reasons like this IR sensor works and able to change the signal from one channel to another channel. So in this IR sensor, these two LED here we can see here it is called potentiometer. By using this potentiometer, we can able to control the emission of the light. and here it is the mini microprocessor. This microprocessor able to measure able to measure
Okay, so I guess she is having some issues. So we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. If she doesn't join back, then we'll move on to next person. So just wait for 1 minute, guys. Yeah, Rakshita, I have
hello,
given you access to unmute.
sir. Can I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible. You can continue from the slide number 6.
Sorry for the disturbance, guys.
Yeah,
Uh, and the next sensor is about gas sensor. These there are very different types of gas sensors, which is nothing but MQ135 gas sensors, MQ7 gas sensors, MQ2, MQ3 like this. And we use this gas sensors in our home applications for detecting the quality of the air, and also in the industries, because in industries the manufacturing of the products is different from one industry to another industry. Some industries uses some type of carbons and another industries uses some other types of gases. So for analyzing this type of gas quality, we can use this gas sensors. Here we can see it has 4 pins, because as compared to the another sensor, these gas sensors are different, because these gas sensors can able to detect the analog signals as well as the digital signals. Here we can able to see, here it is the MQ5 sensor. This MQ5 sensor we can use it for carbon dioxide detection. In our roadside, when we observe, the vehicles can emit different types of poisonous gases. So to detect the how much percentage of the air is polluted, we can use this MQ5 sensors for detecting the air pollution in that roadsides. And as well as in industries, we can able to use MQ135 gas sensor, because this MQ135 gas sensor can able to detect the different types of gases as compared to the MQ7 and the MQ5. And these are very small sizes, we can able to fix it in any small devices. Coming to here, we can observe 4 pins. The first pin is VCC pin, second pin is ground, third pin is digital pin, and fourth pin is analog pin. When we can give the connections with the help of the Arduino board, and when we have a small program for this MQ5 sensors, it can able to detect the analog signals. Like when we keep a sanitizer near to here, it can able to detect how much sanitization gas was emitted to the surroundings. And coming to here, it is the digital pin. We can able to see the digital output in the Arduino IDE software also. Like this, these gas sensors can be important role in the air quality monitoring systems. And PIR sensors. Uh, for understanding these PIR sensors, take the examples. For example, when we enter into any jewelry shop or any cinema theaters, we can able to see that there is a entry for separate purpose. In gold shops, they can make separate entries for the people to enter into the shop. and outside the shop. Like this PIR motion sensor can allow to detect the motion of the person or to detect the motion of the objects. Here also we have three pins. One is ground pin, another pin is output pin, and another pin is for supply pin. Uh, how this PIR motion sensor will works means, as we discussed in the IR sensor, like this, it has a inbuilt LEDs. One is black color and another is white color. One black color LED will emit the light. When it can able to detect some motion, or when the radiation of the light is blocked due to some obstacles, then the light will be reflected back to this white material. So like this PIR motion sensor work. This PIR motion sensor we can able to use in security purpose also. For better examples, we can use this PIR motion sensors in shopping malls, as well as we discussed before in jewelry shops also. And soil moisture sensor. IoT smart agriculture systems can able to take many advantages in these days. So these soil moisture sensors can be the best part in that IoT smart agriculture systems. What does this soil moisture sensor will work? How does it works? Basically, this soil moisture sensor can work with the help of the capacitance. Here we can able to see one is positive node and another one is the secondary, and another one is the cathode and another one is the anode. Here also we have 4 pins. One is for analog pin, digital pin, VCC pin, ground pin. When we keep these 2 pins into the soil, it can able to detect how much percentage of the water is present in that soil. Is there any water needed for the soil for growing of the plants? Like this. Using the capacitance inside this material, it can able to detect the percentage of the water. So this soil moisture can able to detect the how much percentage of the moisture and the temperature and the water level can require for the plant growth. So we use this soil moisture sensor in the field of smart agriculture systems. These sensors can able to send the data to the user. For suppose the farmer's house is very far to the field, very far to his field. This when we keep these sensors in the moisture sensor, and these directly sends the how much percentage of the water required to the plant growth, can directly send to the user by using the cloud services. Like this soil moisture sensor works. And coming to the flex sensor, these flex sensors can able to work with the help of the how much amount we can bend to that sensors. These can able to build with the help of the carbons. The best example for the application of these flex sensors is sign language to speech converters. As the deaf and dumb people can able to make some sign languages, but they can't able to talk with each other. So when we use these flex sensors, it can able to detect the motion, and with the help of some different types of sensors, they can able to change this motion into the speech language also. As well as we can use this for texting also. So like this flex sensors can work. Here we can see it is made up of the carbon material, and as well as it can also made with the help of the plastic, but the carbon material is the most preference as compared to the plastic one. And pulse sensor. IoT based healthcare systems are now developing, because when a doctor is not there in the hospital, as well as a nurse is not there in the patient, they need to note down the pulse rate and the blood pressure rate of the patients within minute to minute. So this type of pulse sensors is a small devices which can able to detect the heart rate pulse. And also here it required very small voltage, so that there is no danger for the human body also. As we can see here also it has 3 pins, but this pulse sensor is different from the another sensors, because it can work only with the help of the analog signals. It doesn't work with the help of the digital signals. The required amount of the voltage is very less. We can able to use this one for patient's body direct contact. If we don't need direct contact with the patient's body, we can use a carbon material with the help of the human body. We can able to fix in the heart side. And these are about the sensors, and here it is the another task, which is nothing but data acquisition system. What is meant by this? it is nothing but we can able to send the data from one place to another place. Between this process, another process is occurred, like what that process is known as data acquisition system. It helps the sensor to send some signals to the user, which is nothing but it is the reliable signals. It doesn't shows any error. Like this, we can use some 5 parameters. First parameter is about physical source. Second one is about transducer sensors, and third one is signal conditioning. Fourth one is analog to digital conversion. Fifth one is comparator. Let's see one by one. First one is physical source. These physical sources are nothing but the sensors we can use, as we discussed before: PAR sensors, IR sensors, pulse rate sensors, flexi sensors. Like this, these physical sources can able to sense some changes in the environment, or some changes in the human body, or any some changes in the physical objects that we can fix it. So these physical sources are nothing but the sensors which can able to measure the how much percentage of the changes occurred as compared to the before value. And the second one is the transducers. These transducers are different types. Like this transducers is defined as it can able to change from one parameter to another parameter. Like means it can able to change electrical signals to the movement, or movement to the electrical signals. Like this, these transducers have available in different types of piezoelectric or pneumatic transducers. Like this, here we can able to see, here we have two elements: sensing element and the transaction element. When we have a physical source, the physical source is nothing but sensors. These sensors can give a non-electrical quantity. It can able to sense some response in the environment and given to the transaction element. It can able to change it to the electrical signals, because when we need to transfer some data to the another places, it can able to transfer by using the electrical signals or EM waves. So for directly sending the analog signal to the user, it can't help us to send reliable. So we can use these transducers for conversion of one parameter to the another parameter. And another one is signal conditioning. When the user is in far places, the signal got distorted somewhat. So to avoid that distortion, we can use this signal conditioning. This signal conditioning can able to amplify the signal, and it can able to send to the far persons also. Simply, this signal condition can work a basic principle of the amplifier. Amplifier means it can able to amplify the weak signals for communication into the long processes. As we can see here, the signal got distorted due to some noise present in the environment. So at the condition of the signal conditioner, it can able to amplify the signal for transmission of the long channel purpose. So like this signal conditions we can use. This signal conditioning can use very small voltages. It has inbuilt sampler, quantizer, and the encoder. Because we need to send the data in the digital form, we can use this signal conditioning. And this A to D converters. A to D nothing but analog to digital converters. The parameters which we can measure from the environment is in the analog form. So we need to transfer that analog form into the digital. So for conversion of the analog to digital, we can use this analog to digital converter block. In this analog to digital converter block, as we discussed below signal conditioner, same blocks are present in this analog to digital converter blocks. One is sampling, another one is quantizer, another one is encoder. This sampling can help us for sample the signals, and the quantizer somewhat when we are sampling the signal, the voltage level was changes as compared to the previous values. So for controlling that changing of the voltages, we can use quantizer. And another final one is the encoder. What is meant by encoder? We can able to encode some data into the digital format. So like this, we can use this A to D converter. And at the end of the receiver, we can able to build some D to A converters for receive of the signals. And these A to T converters are the final part of the data acquisition system. Finally, to conclude that these sensors and the data acquisition system can able to make us more help in the transmission of the signals from one place to another place. And this IoT technology can bring our lives so much better, because it can able to detect some motions, it can able to detect some changes in the environment, we can able to see the how much percentage of the changes occurred in the environment from anywhere. For example, take that IoT healthcare systems, IoT smart cities, IoT based irrigation systems, like this. When we are far away from our places also, we can able to control, we can able to control our things. For example, take that IoT smart cities. Whenever any accidents occur, the signal can directly go to the ambulance services, and the ambulances can able to save the person's lives. We can't need to wait until the ambulance comes. And coming to the IoT healthcare systems, the patient monitoring is very important in the healthcare systems. So this smart hospitality can helps us to save the patient's life compared to the non-IoT systems. And also IoT based smart agriculture systems. These IoT based smart agriculture systems also can bring more advantages compared to the before agriculture systems. The farmer can able to detect the soil moisture, humidity, temperature, as well as the plant growth. So he can able to switch on the water pumps as well as the motors from anywhere. So like these sensors can make our lifestyle easier, and this can be the most important role in the IoT systems. And these are some question and answer slide. These are some basic questions and answers related to the sensors. And I followed all these references which can help us, which can help me to prepare this PPT. And the Wikipedia dot organization, it can help us more to analyze what is meant by the sensors and the different types of sensors, how it can works. And this is all about the sensors interfacing and data acquisition system. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope you are done with your presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, just a okay. See, you need to work on your start. Okay, so how you start your presentation. The self introduction was good, but work on your task introduction. Okay, so how you are giving introduction to your task, right? So start by giving like client requirement, what you understood, like what task you need to do, and then go on to your actual task. This will help you build up a good story, because see, the thing is your explanations are good. You have good content in your slide. Okay, you are able to explain things clearly and really good way, but there are not enough examples. Okay, try to include more examples on these sensors, as well as try to build a story. I know it is not easy to build a story when you have topics like this, but as I said, start by trying to explain your viewers what your task was, and then move on to your actual explanations on the various sensors. Try to give more example, that will be much more preferable. Also, the PPT formatting can be improved, right? You are not doing the presentation in a presentation view. Okay, try to give more in presentation in the slideshow view, right? So the
Okay.
visibility will be much better. Also, the images are, I think, kind of small. You were explaining a lot about images, but the visibility of images is not that great. Okay.
Okay.
So try to use more better images, or add images on the next slide, but use bigger images, so that when you are explaining something, people can look at it and understand it more clearly. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Rakshitha.
Thank you. Thank you.
So okay. So first we'll talk to Sharon. Hello, Sharon.
Hello, sir.
Can you turn your camera on?
Yes, sir.
You have asked me a question in the chat box. Can you tell me what it is? I couldn't look through it because of presentation.
Sir, I've taken the big data professional assessment test on June 18th,
Okay.
and I've got my internship letter on June 19th stating that I have joined on June 16th.
Can you show me the email?
Yes, sir. So can you see my screen?
Yeah. Can you show me the selection letter? What is the date? The date of joining is 16th June. Okay. Sure. Do one thing. Okay, Akash, can you stop annotating on someone else's screen, or you will be kicked out of the meeting? Please clear it. Okay, Sharon. So let me just check your email. Can you tell me your email is T Sharan
76@gmail.com.
76
Yes, sir.
gmail.com. You are from Big Data Group, right?
I don't know which group I am in, sir. I've not received any emails before
You
19th.
said you have given assessment test for Big Data, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so okay. Okay, so I will ask Devanshu sir what the issue is. If it is necessary, you will be given different task. Okay, so just for confirmation, write your email in the chat. I will forward it to technical support and Devanshu sir. You will look into it, and tomorrow I will let you know. Okay, or if it is necessary, you can click on new task, and you will get different task that is related to your domain. I think
Mm,
because of timing issue, you got task for the different group. Because
yes,
at
sir.
that time, we must be sending tasks to the web development group. So that may be some technical issue. No issues. I have got your email. I will share the correct task with you and also forward it very to the answer. Okay. So if
Yes,
you
sir.
don't get any update, join tomorrow and let me know. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Then there is one more guy. Ansh. Hello, Ansh.
Good evening, sir.
Please turn your camera. So what your issue is?
Sir, I joined at 16 June as a Python intern. Uh, on the next day at 1 or 2 p.m., I received a task which is develop a hack with a business operations script in Python, whose deadline is 21st June, but the presentation date is today. आज के दिन. And second task, on the same day, I pressed it कि assign a new task, and I got a new task after 30 or 40 minutes, which says develop a stock screener app in Python, whose deadline is 24. Now I have two tasks pending.
Yes, sir, I unknowingly pressed the assign new button at the same time, right? So
Yes,
do one thing because start complete your first task, that is hack with the office Python script. Okay. So I think this is hack with the business operation Python scripts. Okay. So do that
yes.
task and give the presentation for this one because I think the deadline is already over, right? So you can do it tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow is the deadline, 21st June,
Yeah,
not
okay.
today. But
Today
the
is
presentation deadline is today,
no,
but I
it's
haven't
21.
prepared it.
It is 21. Okay. So do it on 21. Okay. It is okay. Do it tomorrow. No issues. And as for the overview of project synopsis in the technical support chat, let them know that you received two tasks at the same time and you are
Mhm.
currently completing the task number one. Please include the deadline for the task number two. Okay. They will do it.
Okay. So they said deadline is not an issue for this.
Yeah, because you got two tasks, right? So you just need to complete the task in a chronological logical form first and then second. And also as soon as the task is done, complete the presentation. Okay, so that it can be marked as
Okay.
completed and you can receive score.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so there
Thank
is
you.
one more person in the chat. He is not in the meeting. Okay, so please raise your hand if you have any presentations, guys. Let me see. Okay, Manoj.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, am I visible and audible?
Yeah.
So my screen is visible.
It is loading.
Okay, sir. Myself, Manoj. I am from Web Developer Group. My project is
The
real-time stock market.
screen is still not visible.
So the screen is not visible.
It is loading. There may be some internet
Sir,
issue.
in my laptop it says it's visible.
It is not visible on my end. It says screen is loading. Participant is starting this question.
So now the screen is visible.
No, it still says participant is sharing the screen.
Sir, it's visible in my side.
Of course, it will be visible on your side. You are sharing the screen. There may be some internet issue. Do one thing, stop the screen share and try to share again.
So now it's visible.
I can only see a blank screen. If you have given right permissions or something, or you are choosing correct screen to share.
When I gave the permission,
Try sharing the entire screen.
yes, sir, I am sharing the entire screen.
I can only see a blank screen. It says Manoj has started sharing the screen, but I can't see anything. You are muted.
Sir, I will leave and join the meeting again.
Okay, so I will take presentation for Vinoothna and then I will take yours. Okay,
Okay, sir, it will be fine.
Vinoothna.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Am I audible to you?
Yeah, you are audible. Please turn your camera.
Okay, sir. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, it is very posted.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Vinoothna and I am from Machine Learning Group. Today, my presentation is regarding my task, predictive modeling. Now, predictive modeling means I have to build a machine learning model that should predict some target variable, that should predict some output. So that is the main motive of this of my task. So now let us see about the task. Now my task is to to build a model which predicts an output variable by using some features in the given data set. And I have to use supervised learning algorithms like decision trees, logistic regression, and random forests have to be used to build the model and to train the data set. Now the dataset that is provided for this task is student performance dataset, and the tools I have used here is Google Colab. Now let us see some insights about the dataset. Now the dataset that is provided for this task is student performance dataset. That means the details about a student is given in the dataset from which I have to analyze the student's performance. Now here the student's performance should be calculated with the help of math score. So here the student's math score should be predicted to know about the student's performance. So here in the dataset we have 8 columns and 1000 rows, in which the 8 columns are given as gender, race, parental level of education, lunch, test preparation course, math score, reading score, writing score. So in this the math score should be predicted using all other features. So now here I have some data regarding a student called Sita. And okay, no, Sita is a female. So her details is given as gender, it is female, and race. So let us think that, for example, she belongs to some group A. Now her parental level of education is some bachelor's degree, and lunch she was provided with some standard lunch and test preparation course. So she has, let us say whether she has completed or not the test preparation course. So let us say she has completed the test preparation course, and math score, and we have to predict her math score. Now reading score and writing score are given as some 60 and 80. So now by considering all these features, I have to predict her math score so that I can analyze her performance in her academics. So this is the main task. So now here I have to predict the math score. So the math score is the target variable. So this is about the task and the data set. Okay. So before building the model to predict the math score of a student based on some other details, so we have to pre-process the data. Nothing but we have to make sure that the given data is free from all null values and it is cleaned to build the model so that it can better fit the model and it can give better accuracy score and can better predict the math score or the target variable. So we have to perform some simple exploratory data analysis on the data set. So we have to make sure that the data set has no null values, so that if the data set has any null values, so we can erase them. I mean, we can remove them from the data set so that there will be no decrement in the accuracy of the model. So by using is-null method, we can know that how many columns have how many null values. So here I have used is-null method to find whether the features has any null values or not. So here it is given that the gender column has 0. That means it has 0 null values. And here the race ethnicity feature has also 0 null values and so on. So we can confirm that our data set has no null values. So let us see in the Google Colab notebook. Okay, so here I have imported some necessary libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib for visualization. Now I have loaded the dataset, which is a student performance dataset, and I have seen the top 5 rows of the dataset by using head method. So here these are the columns and these are the data in the dataset. So like gender, race, ethnicity, level of education, lunch, preparation course, and math score, which is the target variable here, and the reading score and writing score. So in the process of data pre-processing or data analysis, so I have found that information of the data, whether how many, to find the data types of the columns given in the data set. So here the gender, race, ethnicity up to test preparation course. So these are the categorical columns, and math score, reading score, and writing score are the numbers, numerical data, which are whose data type is integer. And I have found some statistical information of the columns, which is at the numerical values are math score, reading score, and write score. So the describe function has found the mean, standard deviation, and count of these columns. And now here, so I have found whether the columns have any null values or not by using is-null method. So here I have found that all the columns has 0 null values. So from this we can confirm that our dataset has no null values and it is free from null values. So all the rows are filled with some information. The next step in the pre-processing is, so let us visualize the data using pair plot. So here from is-null method, we have confirmed that there are no null values in the dataset. And we can visualize the relationship between any pair of features by using pair plot, which is provided by the Seaborn library. So by using Seaborn library, we can plot the relationship between any two features, numerical features, by using the pair plot. So here the picture depicts the pair plot between math score, and here the columns are missing. I will show that now. Yeah. So here I have imported Seaborn library, which is useful for drawing pair plot between the numerical features, which are math score, reading score, and writing score. So here math score and writing score. So between the relationship between math score and writing score is this one. So the features, the values are all distributed in a linear fashion. And also reading score and writing score. This is the the features. These are the features that are the relationship between reading score and writing score is the linear relationship. So the data points are arranged in the linear fashion and so on. And in this way, we can visualize the relationship between any two pairs of features. So this is about the pair plot. So now up to now we have found that our dataset has no null values, and we have visualized some graphs between two features. So now we have found that our dataset has some categorical values, like nothing but our dataset has some categorical columns where the numerical values are not present in the dataset. So for converting these categorical columns into numerical values, so we have to convert the categorical columns into numerical data. Machine learning models work better on numerical data. So we have to convert those categorical columns into numerical data. So this process is called as data encoding. So in the dataset, student performance dataset, the categorical columns are defined as gender, race, ethnicity, parental level of education, lunch, and test preparation course. So these are the columns where we have categorical data, and we have to convert that categorical data into numerical data. So for the better accuracy and better fitting of the model. So here I have used a map function to map the categorical values to some numerical values. So here the gender column has two unique values, right? So female and male. So I have mapped female to 0 and male to 1. So through this, we can change the data frame of the, we can change the gender column of the data frame to numerical data. So the rows which have the word female, they get converted into 0. And the rows which contains a male, so they will be converted into 1. So here the picture depicts the first two rows are females. So the female word is converted into 0. So in the same way, I have converted all the categorical columns into numerical columns. So let us see. Yeah, here. So by using unique function, I have found that how many unique values are there in the gender column. So it is given that there are two unique values like female and male. So by using map function, I have converted female to 0 and male to 1. So here the first top two rows are have female. So the female word is converted into 0 and 0. In the same way, the race ethnicity column, the number of unique values in the race column is 5 unique values: group B, group C, group A, group B, and group B. So I have mapped these five categorical values to numerical values like from 0 to 4, in which I have arranged them in the alphabetical order. So A comes first. So I have given group A to 0 and group B to 1, group C to 2. So in the alphabetical manner, I have allotted the numerical values to the map function. So in the same way, I have found the unique values of parental level of education, and I have given some numerical values according in the alphabetical manner. So other than this map function, we can use one-hot encoding also, and which is a pre-inbuilt method. That one-hot encoding also converts in the same manner only. So I have converted all the categorical columns like test preparation course, so into numerical values. So finally, I have the data set which has all the numerical data. So now our data set is free from null values, and it is free from categorical values, and the data set is full of numerical values. Now we are ready to build the. Now our model can fit the numerical data well. So before building the model directly, so we have 8 features, in which one of the features is target variable, which is math score. So apart from math score, we have 7 features. So in those 7 features, we have to select the features which are more appropriate for the model. So in these 7 features, we have to select the features in such a way that they are more appropriate for the model building so that they are more dependent on the output, which is math score. So that process is called as feature selection. So we have to select the appropriate features. And there are many methods for the feature selection, like backward elimination, forward selection, univariate selection, and etc. So among all these methods, so I have used here correlation matrix and backward elimination methods for selecting the features, appropriate features. So before going to the implementation part, let us see about what is correlation. Now, correlation is a statistical term which is common usage refers to how close the two variables are to having a linear relationship with each other. So correlation gives the linear relation how the two variables are linearly related. So that means the correlation coefficient gives the linear relationship between two features. And how does this correlation helps us in feature selection means? So features with high correlation are more linearly dependent on the output. So when the two features have high correlation, we can drop one of the two features. So this is how we can select the features by dropping the inappropriate features. So here the correlation matrix represents the correlation between coefficient of correlation between any two features in the data set. So here the picture depicts the correlation coefficients between two features in the data set. And now by using these correlation coefficient values, the features which have correlation coefficient of value greater than 0.9, so we can remove those features. So now let us see the coefficient matrix. So here I have created the correlation coefficient matrix using heat map, which is provided by the Seaborn library. And here the values in the heat map depicts the correlation coefficient between. And here we have to check the correlation coefficients regarding the target variable, which is math score. So here 0.17 depicts the gender. The correlation coefficient between math score and gender is 0.17. And race 0.22 is the correlation coefficient between race and math score. So in this way, among these correlation coefficient values, we have to remove the features with the correlation coefficient value greater than 0.9. And here we can see that there are no features with greater than 0.9. And this is the diagrammatic view of correlation coefficient values, and we can check that values in the data frame also using core method. So these are the same values which are found in the figure between each and every feature, correlation coefficient values. And now here I have written some loops to find which features have correlation coefficient values greater than 0.9. So the features which are having coefficient values greater than 0.9, they will be depicted as follows. That means we will be removing that feature from the selected columns. So after doing this, so there are no columns greater with coefficient value 0.9. So all the features got selected by using this correlation matrix. Yeah, so these are the selected columns because as there are no columns greater than 0.9, so all the features have been selected here. So this is how I have found the selected features using correlation matrix, and I have also used a backward elimination method to find the appropriate features further. So, backward elimination is a feature selection technique while building machine learning models. So it is used to remove those features that do not have any significant effect on the output, prediction of the output. So in this backward elimination procedure, the first step is to, we have to set up a significant level, which is SL, and we can call it as also a p-value, probabilistic value. Here I have selected it as 0.05, and we have to fit the complete model with all the possible independent variables. And from that features, we have to find the highest p-value, and the feature which has the p-value, probability value greater than this threshold value, significant level value, we have to remove that predictor. We have to remove that feature. If there are no any columns greater than 0.05, and our model is ready, and we can select all the features and we can build the model, further model. So if there is any feature greater than the threshold value 0.05, and we will remove that feature, and we again fit the model with the remaining values. So when we remove the feature with a greater p-value, and it affects the other column, and when we remove that feature, then again we calculate the p-value in the next iteration. So that p-values may vary due to the elimination of one feature. So like that, we check, we iterate through the loop, and we find the features whose p-value is less than 0.05 until if we get all the columns whose p-values are less than 0.05, and we can select all those features as the appropriate features. So let us see that whether so by using correlation coefficient matrix, here all the columns have been selected for the model building. So here I have written a function for backward elimination, where all the independent variables are given. I mean, except the math score is given for the model fitting, and the y is called as the predictor variable, which is a math score. So I have done fitting here with all the independent variables as I have mentioned in the steps. Yeah. And the threshold value here I have given is 0.05. Yeah. And the features whose p-value is greater than threshold value will be removed here. So we will see. Yeah. So after removing those columns, the selected columns are gender, race, ethnicity, and all the 7 columns. So without math score, all the 7 columns have been selected because no columns p-value is not greater than 0.05. So let us see that the p-values of each and every column by using ordinary least squares method. So here in this, the x1, x2, x3, and so on, x7 are the 7 featured or the 7 columns in the data set, and the p-values of those columns are here in this column. Yeah. So x1 has 0.00, which is less than 0.05, and it is 0, and x3 also has 0.025, which is also less than 0.05. So here we can see that all the columns has p-values less than 0.05. So we can conclude that all the features are eligible for the model building. So this is how we select the appropriate features. So here all the features are selected for the further procedure for the model building. So up to now we have cleaned the data set, and we have selected the appropriate features. So now the process model building starts. So before building the model, we have to split the data set into training and testing data set. Now the training data should be 80% of the whole data set, and the testing data should be 20% of the data set. So by using scikit-learn's train test split method, we can split the data set into training and testing data set. So here I have imported the train test split method, and I have splitted the data set into training and testing data set. So now I have to use the as this is a prediction part, I have to use supervised learning algorithms. So what I mean by supervised learning? It is a type of machine learning in which machines are trained using well-labeled data. So here in our data set, all the output math score is also given for the training data, so that it based on the given data, the model gets trained and it predicts the output. So here I have used the logistic regression, Bayesian tree regression, and random forest regression for the prediction of math score, and I have and I try to fit the trained data by using all the 3 algorithms, and we choose the best algorithm based on the accuracy. So here I have imported the logistic regression, Bayesian tree regression, and random forest regression. So I have created the objects for these classes, and here I have fitted the regression objects by using training data. And by using predict function, I have applied a test data, which is a new data for the model to to predict the math score. So it has predicted. Now we can find the accuracy of the model by using R2 score. Now the R2 score function predicts the accuracy of the model by using the test values, the actual values, and the predicted values here. So here the first one is logistic regression. The logistic regression has only 10% accuracy. And second, Bayesian tree regression has 72%, and random forest has 84%. So with this accuracy, the random forest has more accuracy in predicting the math score. Yeah. So I have found that the random forest. So in the conclusion, so it is the accuracy on the trained data, test data. Now here I have given some new data, which is the numerical data, which is gender, race, and ethnicity, group. So like the reading score, writing score, whether the test preparation course. So I have given some random data for the random forest regression, because it has the higher accuracy value, and the predicted math score is 71.56. So the random forest regression has predicted the math score with 84% accuracy. So on the conclusion, I concluded. So I have done some exploratory data analysis on the dataset to make sure that the dataset is clean from null values and categorical data. And for the feature selection process, I have used correlation matrix and p-value, which is backward elimination. And through this feature selection process, I have found that all the features are appropriate and are relevant for the model building, because no feature has correlation coefficient value greater than 0.9 and a p-value greater than 0.05. And I have used the supervised algorithms, logistic regression, Bayesian tree, and random forest for model fitting. And I have found that random forest regression predict the math score more accurately than the other regression models, with an accuracy of 84%. And these are the references that I have used for this task. And if you have any queries, please you can ask me. And thank you.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Thank you. See, explanation was good. It was in depth. It was fairly knowledgeable. The content is also really well made that you have in your PPT. But the thing is, you need to work on your formatting. Okay, it look like, see, you have a lot of text in your PPT. Okay, try not to keep everything in a single slide. If necessary, use multiple slides for the same topic. Okay, completely fine. You have images in your slides. They are not really aligned perfectly. Okay, think about the use, what your viewers will see. Okay, what is the visibility, and if it is really if the what is the readability, if I can read it correctly or not. Okay.
Okay.
When it comes to your explanation, see, your explanation was good, but try to simplify it, because someone, let us say someone is from a different group, they will find it pretty hard to understand, right? And also, as I said, try to explain with a goal, like what goal you have, and explain with respect to that. So let us say you were finding null values, you were also doing some making models. So what you are trying to solve it, right? So try to make do your presentation in that order. Simply to say, work on your story presentation, right? So work on the story of your presentation. Okay, explanation is good. You have on a level that your explanations are really good, but you need to simplify them. Okay, try to simplify them. Like when you are making a presentation, think like if someone from a different group will be able to understand it or not, right? Yeah, and also focus on the results. Some of the results were not really well explained. So work on that also. Try to simplify them. Conclusion was really great. You did explain a lot of things.
Okay.
Other than that, it is completely fine. Okay, demo was really well done. Okay, well
Okay.
done on the demo. So keep up with that.
Okay, sir.
Other than that, it was fine. Just work on your story. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Next is, I believe, Manoj. I hope your problem is solved now. Kashish, Arif will come to you after the presentations
Sir,
are.
am I visible?
You are visible.
So sorry for the disturbance.
Please share the screen.
So my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is visible now.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Manoj. I am from Web Developer Group. My project is real-time stock market data web application. And my task is overview of the project Synopsis. So we are going to see the overview of the project. The overview includes introduction, steps, conclusion, and the references. So firstly, the introduction. Basically, what is stock market? Stock market refers to the collection of exchanges and markets where buying and selling of stocks, that means shares and equities, takes place. It provides a platform for companies to raise capital by using shares to the public and for investors to buy and sell those shares. So our project is real-time stock market data web application. The real-time stock market data web application is a full stack web application that allows investors to track real-time stock market data in an easy to understand format. The web application pulls real-time stock market data from APIs and displays stock price, volumes, market trends, and other information that investor needs to track their investments. So what is an API? An API is an application programming interface. It is a set of rules and protocols that allows different software applications to communicate and interact with each other. It specifies how software components should interact and defines the methods, data formats, and convention that should be used for seamless integration. So the first step is to define key features of web application. So these are the key features of my web application. First is real-time stock market data. Real-time stock market data is a web application pulls real-time stock market data from an API and displays stock prices, volume, market trends, and other information. And the second is user authentication and security. The web application has features such as authentication, security to ensure that user data is protected. And the third key feature is easy to understand format. The web application displays stock market data in an easy to understand format, making it easier for investors to track their investments. And the fourth feature is responsive design. The web application is designed in such a way it must be responsible, making it easy to use on different devices. And the second step is to choose the suitable technologies. And for technologies, the front-end part must be include HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the React.js it is a framework of JavaScript. And for backend, the Node.js, Express.js, and MongoDB should be used. And for APIs, Alpha Vantage API deals with the control of data in the stock market. And the News API, it pulls the data to the investors that are using the web application. And the step three is to implement user authentication and security features to protect user data. And the step four is to integrate a web application with stock market data. This means that firstly, the web application makes HTTP response to the stock market data API. The stock market data API processes the request and in return data in the form of JSON data. The backend receives the JSON data from the stock market API. The front end receives the processed data and user is to populate the user interface components. And the step 5 is we have to design the front end components to display the stock market data received from the APIs, that is from Alpha Vantage API and News API. And the step 6 is to test, deploy, and debug the application. In test, we need to check whether the web application is running correctly or not. And in deploy port, we need to check that the application is deploying properly or not. And in the web application, whenever we need a error, we need to debug that error. And the conclusion of my task is the real-time stock market data application is an essential tool for investors who want to track the investments in real time. The application will provide an easy to understand format that displays stock market data and other essential information to investors. The web application will be developed using modern web technologies such as React.js, Node.js, MongoDB, making it valuable addition to run full stack web development portfolio. And these are the references that I used while making this overview of an task. Thank you. Whoever may have question, so feel free to ask any question. And who are watching this recorded video on YouTube, they can also feel to ask any questions. This is my email ID and my GitHub link. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I hope you are done with your presentation.
Yes, sir.
I believe you also needed to create a documentation outlining the design and development process.
Yes, sir. I have to go the overview of project synopsis.
So there was also a document that you need to create, right?
Sorry, sir.
There was also a document that you need to create.
So which type of document?
Wait, let me see. Are you from which group?
So web developer group.
Yeah, so it says you need to deliver a fully functional real-time stock market application documentation outlining the design and development of the application. So have you created the documentation?
No, sir, I haven't created any documentation. So I received a mail that you have to only give the overview of project synopsis. So wait a second, I will show the.
It says you need to create a documentation. See, you in the email, you must be seeing a deliverable part, right? So there it says documentation outlining design development of application. And the third point is presentation showcasing application and its feature, right?
The overview of project synopsis.
Hold on. Yeah, see.
Yes, sir. Sir, I haven't seen the part.
Okay, so you will only get score for showing the presentation, that is half. Okay. Other than that, see, work on your story. What that means is start by explaining what this client requirement is. Then there onward, you can continue with your actual presentation. This will help you build up a good base where your viewers will be able to connect with you from the very beginning. Other than that is, see, it was too short. Okay. We need more in-depth explanation, as well as let us say when you have stock market application. So explain with from the user interface, and then from then onward, how you will be able to achieve those things. So let us say there will be an chart for showing the real-time application, right? So then explain like how you are going to achieve the functionality of chart showing the real application, as well as updating it in real time, or saving it, or things other things. Or let us say when making a favorite list of particular stock, how you are going to achieve that authentication, what protocols you are going to achieve. You did enter that you will use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node.js, and things like that. But how those things are going to come together and build a actual application, right? So when it says development and design, that means you need to make a presentation where you are actually explaining the actual development process of a full stack application, where if I show this presentation to someone else, they should be able to give a good idea of what kind of application they will get, or how you are going to develop the actual application. And the documentation can be shared with other developer, where they can read the documentation and get a fairly simple idea of what kind of application we are going to make, right? It is really important that you go through the overview, such as, let us say you are working in a group of 4 or 5 developers. If everyone is following the same document, then all of you can work on it, right? It will make actual process really easy. And if you want to become a good, you need to get good leadership skill. Then learn how to do these things so that you are able to communicate with your team really easily. Okay,
Okay,
communication
sir.
skill is also that we need to work on. Other than that, it was completely fine. Next time, keep in mind that you deliver everything that is in
Sir,
the.
I thought I would only get the overview of the project.
See, in the deliverable, it says that you need to make a documentation outline, right?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I haven't saw that.
Yeah, sure, no issues. Next time, keep in mind. Okay?
Sir,
And then,
can I know that how much could I get?
sorry,
Sir, score.
score. You will get it in the email by tonight 10.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, by 10 or 11 p.m. you will get it. If you don't get it tomorrow, let me know in the meeting that you have not seen. But
Okay, sir.
most probably you will receive it by the 10 p.m. Okay, so don't worry about that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, can I leave?
Yeah, sure, you are free to leave.
Okay, sir. Thank
Then we'll move on to Prasanna. Prasanna Godisela. Please turn your camera. You are not really audible. Please, can you increase the volume of your mic?
Sir, am I audible now?
And now you are audible. You can start.
Good evening, sir. My name is Godisela Rakshitha. My project name is real-time stock.
You are not audible, Prasanna.
Am I audible, sir, now?
Yeah, now you are audible.
My project name is real-time stock market data web application, and the task was overall project synopsis. So let us look at the overview of this application, the introduction, key features, and the tools and techniques used in it, and how does it work, the demonstration part, and the references, and the conclusion. So let us see what is real-time stock market data web application. Actually, it's a software application where we can get the access to the information of the stock market activity in a real time, like stock price and market indices and trading volumes. And it is also includes like portfolio tracking and customized alerts. And it makes users to monitor and track the stock prices related to the information on stock market. And let us see what are the key features of this application. First is real-time stock market data. The application should deliver the information on stock market, like stock price, market indices in real time. And next is user authentication and security. The application should be in a way that it secures the user's account and protects the sensitive financial information of the users. Easy to understand format means the application should provide or displays the data in the form of chats or graphs so that users can quickly analyze and interpret the data. The responsive design, it's nothing but the design should be responsive mode. It adapts to the different screen sizes and the devices. And next is tools and techniques were used in it. For the front end, it is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React.js. And for the backend part, we have to use Node.js and Express.js and MongoDB. And the APIs are Alpha-Vantage and the Rules API. And actually, how actually it works. The web application will make a HTTP request to the API, and the API will receive the request and returns the data in the form of JSON. And the backend web application will process the data, and now the data is ready for the consumption in the front end. The front end part will display the processed data in the form of charts and graphs. So next is the demonstration part. For this, I have made this application with the help of React. Here I create, actually I want to explain this code, but code. Here it is React. It just creates the component. I have created the component like state. For plotting the graph, we need X and Y values. So the stock chart X values and stock chart Y values. And for the fetching the stock from the API, we have to need a API key and the stock symbol and the API call. So here I have used Alpha Vantage API. So let us look into that also. So here you can see the Alpha Vantage API. So here it is, how can I get the API key? After entering the details like organization and details, so we can claim our API key. So we can get the API key after entering our details. And next is the documentation part of the API. Here you can see the information regarding the stock price of the weekly, monthly, and daily and the intraday. So here I used daily adjusted data. So you can see the link where we can get the data for the different companies. So you can see here the symbol. For example, here we have used IBM. So here we can use Amazon, FD, and other kind of companies also. And in the place of API key, here we have used demo, but we have to use the key that we have claimed before. So this was the part of documentation of the API. And let us look into that also. So here I have placed the key and the symbol of company and the name of the company stock data. So that is API key and the stock symbol. And for the creation of the plot, I have used React.Just Plotly. So you can see that also with the help of this, I have installed the React.Plotly.js, and you can see the code here also. With the help of this, I have plotted the graph. So let us look how actually it provides the data in the form of charts or graphs. So you can also see the information like in the form of a graph. I have taken daily wise time series data. So you can see like the March and April and daily wise day-to-day data. So here it was on the demonstration part. So next go to the references. So these were the references I have used for the application. For the conclusion, part, actually the API played a major role in the for the data integration. It's integrate with the third-party services and provided the stock data in our real time. And real-time stock market data with the application, it's nothing but a simple access to the financial market, and also it just provides the timely and reliable information, and it's empowering the traders and the investors to make their investment decisions wisely and thoroughly. So this was my conclusion part. And thank you. Any questions? Yes, sir. I have done with my presentation.
Okay, so I hope you are done with your presentation.
Yes.
Okay, see, your presentation was good, okay, but it was not quite in-depth. We need more in-depth presentation. Like touch on more, like, be more specific, like how you are achieving the things, like the front end and the back end. You have a prototype of your application where you are able to fetch the API data and show it as a chart. So that is a good thing. But when it comes to, like, fully featured application, so show like how you are able to do that and how you will do it in, like, future, and what you are planning to do that. So be more specific about that. Other than that, see, it was a really great demonstration. So full marks for the demonstration. Really great. And you have also explained it really well. Demonstration works. But one thing I would tell you is, next time when you are demonstrating and you have an API key, don't show it in directly on the Zoom meeting or something, because this meeting is being recorded. So I would recommend you to change your API key after the meeting is over. And then other than that, see, your conclusion was fine, but it can be improved. Okay. Other than that, okay, it was fine. Just work on your explanation skill and your story. Be more specific, be more in depth about it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. We'll move on to Asim. I will come to you after the presentations are over. Hemang, Raj.
Hello, sir. Am I visible to you?
Yeah, you are visible.
Okay, so and is my screen visible?
It is loading.
Okay.
I can only see a blank screen.
So I try to reconnect it.
Yeah, now it is visible.
Now it's visible, sir.
Yeah, you can start.
Yeah. So hello everyone. My name is Hemang, and I am taking the internship under deep learning and machine learning domain. So what my task was to calculate the future latitude and longitude of vehicle using machine learning and deep learning model. So I'll give a very simple real life scenario. So please bear with me for the next few minutes, and I'll take that example for the whole of my presentation. So these are the contents, and I'll go through all the contents one by one. So the first thing is, what is machine learning? So machine learning in its simplest term is humans training the computers to do some tasks on its own. We give some training data to the computer. We tell the computer how to access the training data and what to do that on the training data. The two major type of works on the training data are classification and prediction. We train those data models, and then the computer itself performs the next task, whatever we tell it to do. I'll give you the example. The common tasks of machine learning algorithm are these few. Now, in our real life, we use certain weather apps, weather forecasting apps. So the classification domain of machine learning helps us to tell that what kind of weather it is today. We can label the weathers. Is it a sunny day, or is it a rainy day, or it is a windy day. Next is clustering. We can cluster the related data and see the size of the clusters. For example, in India, we can cluster how many days we have for summer season and how many days we have for winter season. Assume that we get bigger cluster for summer season. That means in India, summer season is bigger than the winter season. Next thing is prediction. Using the data which we have, on which we did classification and clustering, we can predict that what will be the weather of India in the next coming years, or for instance, we can even predict the data for tomorrow, as simple as that. Regression is the continuous prediction of data. Looking at the past 30 years of the data, we can predict the weather for the next few years. Next is anomaly detection. We classify anomaly detection as outliers. For example, now the weather in India is transforming from summer to rainy season, but there is a unusual activity of cyclone near the western coasts of India. So we classify that as an outlier. Even that can be detected using machine learning algorithm. Next is recommendation system. Now, most of us use any food delivery app, Zomato or Swiggy. What we see in that is, on a sunny day, it automatically recommends that there is some offer on cold drinks or ice cream. Or on rainy day or on a cold day, it recommends some soups to us. So that is the recommendation system, which is again developed using machine learning algorithms on data sets. And next is natural language processing. So as simple as that, natural language processing is the process which we use to communicate with computers. Our data is understood by computers, and we try to understand what computer is trying to tell to us. Next thing is deep learning. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Deep learning is made using several layers of neural networks which we use to predict something. Now, what we do, we have a data set and we have starting latitude, starting longitude, event start time, and event end time. We have to predict using these datasets that what will be the destination latitude and longitude of the vehicle which we have. We try to do it in two ways. In the first way, we try to predict destination latitude and longitude separately. And in the second case, we predict it simultaneously and we compare the metrics. So the dataset which I have taken is from the GitHub ID, which is shown on the screen. The dataset has 1536 unique values. That data is already clean and only has consistent values. It means that the data does not require any pre-processing. It does not have any noise or any outliers or any missing data. The columns heading of the data can be seen. Next we have is what we have to do is we have to develop a training model. So what is a training model? Using machine learning algorithm, we take certain part of our data. In our case, I have taken 80% of our data. That is the training data, which we use to train a model. And the rest 20% becomes testing data, which we use to test the data on the training model. So the first algorithm which I have used is lasso regression. And the features for lasso regression which I have taken is event start time, event end time, latitude start, and longitude start. So what is lasso regression? Lasso regression is a machine learning algorithm which we use in which we assign some coefficients to the already present features. For example, lasso regression algorithm presents some value to event start, it assigns some value to event time, and assigns some value to latitude start, and assigns some value to longitude start. Now what it does is it sees that which of these four features is the most important feature. It gives preference to that and it takes the highest priority for that value in the calculation of destination latitude. It does that recursively to find the destination latitude. Now, after getting the destination latitude, I tried to find the matrix of that. The EVS. EVS is the explained variance score. That means it is the comparable feature between the original destination latitude and predicted destination latitude, which is 0.99, which is a very good score. It lies between 0 and 1. The more the value is closer to 1, the better score it is. One more feature is R2. R2 represents the goodness fit of the regression model. That means how better our model is going to fit on the data set. For that also, the value is 0.9999, which is closer to 1, which again says that our prediction is a really good prediction. Next, we try to predict the destination longitude. For this, I have used XGBoost algorithm. What XGBoost algorithm does is it does the same thing. Recursively. It assigns some value to the features of the data, and it goes on calculating recursively. It learns from its previous model. In the first iteration, it does some calculation to find the destination latitude. In that, it sees that which feature has the most priority, and again, it calculates that recursively. For example, in this case, I have taken the latitude end also, because now I already have latitude start and latitude end, which I have calculated earlier. So using latitude start, latitude end, longitude start, and error decile, I try to compute the destination longitude. Error decile is simply the error percentage, which means that how much is the difference between actual destination longitude and predicted destination longitude. So using XGBoost, we use again 80% of our data as training set and 20% as testing set. We develop a model and we deploy that model on the given data set. In the above case, using XGBoost also, we get a very nice score of 0.999. Now what I try to do is, I try to do a comparative study. In the earlier case, I predicted the latitude and longitude separately for the vehicle. In this case, I am trying to compute the latitude and longitude simultaneously, which is again possible. For that, I have used lasso-Lars algorithm. What lasso-Lars algorithm does is, it takes the most important feature of the data, calculates some destination value on that, and again, it takes the second most important data feature of the data, again computes the latitude and longitude based on that, and it does that recursively until all the features are completed. This is the property of lasso-Lars, which I have explained now. And the features which I have taken for lasso-Lars is start feature. Start feature is the combination of start latitude and start longitude, because we are concatenating both the features to find the destination latitude and longitude. And the second feature is event start time, and the third feature is event end time. Now, when we do the comparative study, we find that the accuracy of finding the destination simultaneously is around 0.89, which is 89%. And predicting the latitude and longitude separately gives us the accuracy of 0.99, which is 99%. So deploying two machine learning algorithms one by one is better than deploying a single machine algorithm on both the metrics simultaneously. So this is the complete workflow which I have done in Data IQ using AWS. So first the data was loaded, then we have predicted the latitude. Using the predicted latitude, I have predicted the longitude, and then I have tried to see the metrics of the predicted latitude. In the first case, I have directly taken the data and predicted latitude and longitude simultaneously, and then I have seen the metrics of that predicted data. So this was it. If you have any questions, you can go ahead.
Okay, so are you done, Hemang?
Yes, sir, I'm done.
Can you show me your conclusion slide?
So, sorry, sir.
Your conclusion slide.
Yeah, just a minute. So is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you zoom in?
Is it fine, sir, or should I?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. See, looking at your conclusion, it is not clear, like, what results you got from this, right? So say what are the results, what is the percentage, what is the accuracy, what is the error, and other things. Okay, include it in the PPT so that if I look at your PPT later, let us say after a week or two, I can look at your what accuracy you got, right?
Yes, sir.
That will be much more preferable to include that. And there was no live demonstration, I believe.
Sir, I have the project ready now. If
You need to include it during the presentation itself. Okay, so next time keep this in mind. Okay, other than that, see, you have explained it well. Okay, you have included the screenshot, so we'll consider that for now. Other than that, see, your ending can be improved, like be more specific on the results, how you got the results, what are the factors that led you to those results, and what are the other limitations of this data set or project, and what are the improvements that can be done. Okay, so this should be included in the ending. Other than that, see, your hook was really great. Your story was really good. You have explained it really well. Okay, I don't think anyone has explained it really well this time, but the thing is, you explained things like NLP. I don't think they were really important with respect to the scope of this task. So explanation is great, but stick to your task. Okay, like what is necessary, because it will, like, lead. Your viewers will be. They may get confused. Like, do I really need NLP for this task? Right. So stick to it. The way you are doing your presentation is correct. It is good, but you need to work on your actual content. Okay, so work on that. Other than that, your story and hook, it is good. Keep up with it. Okay.
thank
Next
you,
time it will be preferable if you have live demonstration.
Yeah, fine. Thank you, sir.
But if it is not possible, having screenshots can be also okay. Okay.
Fine. So like now also I have the project ready, if that is possible, if I can present it now.
You need to do it with the PPT because we have more people, right? So
yeah, fine. No problem. I can. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you
Hemang.
very much.
Okay, so we'll move on to Nidhi. Vaibhav, if you have not given any presentation, but you need to schedule the presentation and give the presentation, you will get score and then you will get the certificate. I hope this makes it. Okay. So you schedule for a presentation and then you can give presentation. Nidhi. Hello, Nidhi.
Sir, I am audible.
Yeah, you are audible.
Good evening, sir.
Nidhi, your voice is not really audible because there is some internet issue. Okay, try to fix it. I will come to you after Abhilasha Rajak. Okay, so stop for now. Try to fix your internet. We'll take your presentation after Abhilasha. Abhilasha.
Sir, now I am audible.
Yeah, now you
Okay, sir.
but wait, Nidhi. Abhilasha Rajak.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Please turn your camera.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Good evening to all. First of all, thank you, sir, for. Sir, can I share my screen?
Yeah. After sharing, you can start.
Okay, sir. Sir, my screen is visible to you?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, sir. Sir, can I start?
Now you can start.
Okay, sir. Thank you. First of all, sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself and present myself. My name is Abhilasha Rajak. I am from Sagar, and I am an engineering student. I am pursuing BTech from Infinity Management and Engineering College, Sagar. I am taking the internship in Hagveda. I am a Java internship. I am a Java intern. My project name is Synopsis Stock and Trading Application. No. First of all, we know the stock trading application is a software project that aims to create a user-friendly and comprehensive platform for individuals to engage in a stock trading. It provides real-time market data, trading tools, and portfolio management features. Stock, first of all, we know about stock. Stock are a type of security that gives stockholder a share of ownership in a company. Stock are also called equity. Second is stock market. The stock market is where investors buy and sell shares for companies. It is a set of exchange where companies issues share and other security for trading. It is a place where shares of public listed companies are traded. The primary market is where companies float shares to the general public in an initial public offering to raise capital. It means the company wants to start our business, so it engaged the fund. It's called capital. Then next, the project key features is included user-friendly interface. The stock trading application prioritizes the user-friendly interface to ensure that user can easily navigate and perform and access the features they need Here are some key aspects of the user-friendly interface. That means a user-friendly interface is a software interface where user easily understand and navigate. Or innovative design. The application adopts a clean and innovative design, uh, making it easy for user to understand and interact with the various functionality. That means the product manage innovative designed reference to making product easy to use. Navigation and menu. The application uh, incorporate cleaner and clear and logical navigation menu, allowing user to quickly move between different sections and access the different features. Navigation means if your product is well designed and has a user-friendly interface where customer can navigate easily, then search time will decrease and user will fulfill their needs and faster train more efficiently way. Dashboard and customization. The application may include a customizable dashboard where user can personalize their trading environment. Uh, Dashboard are unique and powerful way to present dataset and uh, database and intelligence using data visualization. And responsive design. The interface is designed to be responsive, adaptive to different screen size and devices. We use different devices like laptops, computer, and phones. So, the responsible website is a is very important. Clear feedback and notification. The application provides clear and informative feedback to the user when they perform action to encounter error. It also affects notification and alerts for important events such as order executions, price movement, or portfolios update. User need to know what is going on and get um, interaction properties feedback during. Second, in documentation, the interface may include contextual help option and document to assist user in understanding the features and functionalities. Describe the technologies stack used in the application. We use the Java, the primary programming language for development, and APIs integration with stock exchange and other external services. Database. Database is used to storage and retrieval of users and stock data. Web-based architecture accessible through web browser on different devices. Highlight the importance of user experience in the application. Intuitive design, easy to use interface for all type of user, real-time stock data, accurate and up-to-date marked information, and customizable watch list. User can track specific stock of interest, notifications and alerts. Stay informed about market change and price leave. And this explains the scalability and performance aspects of the application. Ability to handle uh, high trading values and concurrent users, efficiently data processing and response times, load testing and optimization for optimal performance. In this process, the main role plays by the stockholder, stockbroker. Stockbroker are individuals who buy and sells stock and other securities for rating, retail and institutional clients through a stock exchange or over the counter in return for a fee or commission. It is a flow of fund. It is example of bear side. If the user buy 5 shares in a one at n 1,000 rupees, then a stockbroker gets 1,000 rupees from your account, and seller side 5 shares, seller 5 shares at sell their share 5 shares at 1,000 rupees, and get, a stockbroker gets 5 shares from his account, and then a stockbroker send 5 shares to your account broker, and then first stockbroker send 5 shares in your account, and send stockbroker send rupees 1,000 to seller broker. Then seller's broker gets 1,000 from broker. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I hope you are done with your presentation. See, can you show me your conclusion slide?
Sorry, sir, but I am not in.
Okay, so you need to create a conclusion slide next time, right?
Yes, sir.
And you
My
also
fault
need
is-
to create a Q&A slide, question and answer slide. And have you created the documentation for overall production and the development process? You know, have you created the documentation? Okay, no, you don't need to create documentation. It's a Java group. Okay, sure. See, you need to work on your presentation skills. Okay, the presentation was mostly just reading from the slide. That is not a good thing. Okay, and it looked like you were just reading it, right? So work on your hook, how you are giving a presentation. When you are giving a presentation, it should look like you are telling or like, teaching it to someone else or your viewers, not just reading it, right? And your story was also not that great, although you did follow step-by-step format of your overall life cycle of your project, but it wasn't great. The content was not that great. So work on your actual content also. There was no
Yes,
Q slide, and your ending slide was also not there. So work on that. Other than that, the demo was fine.
Okay, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, work on it. Next time, I want improvement. Okay. So we'll move on to Nidhi. Nidhi Singh. After Nidhi, we will not be having presentation. So Nidhi is the last presentation for today. Abhilasha, Nidhi, and Gopal, you guys can give your presentation tomorrow. I will take your presentation first at 7 p.m. So join and give your presentation. And other people who have general queries like Ashim and Kashish, you guys can wait. I will take your general queries after this presentation. Nidhi, please start. And turn your camera.
Sir, I'm audible.
Yeah, you are audible.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. You can start.
Yes, sir. 1 second, sir. Sure. Sir, my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, sir. Mm. So now today is my presentation on Doctor Search website, and this is Nidhi Singh from Web Developer Group. And now in this presentations, we are going to cover content and understand how to work this website and how to create this website. So first of all, we cover introduction on on our Doctor Search website and summary at Doctor Search website. And next one is create the project, live demonstrations, list of application used with the project, and last one is conclusion and mention. Now we have moved to introduction part on our Doctor Search website. So we know that a Doctor Search website is an online platform that help in which user to find doctor a particular area, a particular place in their area, and their need. So we all know that also today's digital time, and everything is online. So why not doctors? And with this website, doctors provide online presence and online appointment, online feedback, and also marketing is included in this. So my next part is project summary on Doctor Search website. And now first of all, I have take a template on Figma using the Figma plugin. So Figma is a strong designing tool to give a unique design to create a website, also like website applications or no, and etc. And next one is generate and export HTML and CSS code for this prototype by using Locofy AI. So what is a Locofy AI? Locofy AI is a turn design into front end for web and app. Locofy is also build design systems and screen, so much more. So my next one is I have creating a database and also code for a backend. And my last one is upload all the files on hosting website. Now it is my step first, and this is my front end page and designing front end page, and this is my output page. I got my front end page with the help of Figma. So I clarify on my Figma, and this is my step second. And I have create my prototype. After create my prototype, I have convert the prototype into HTML and CSS code. So this is my Locofy AI link. And now I will look at the step third. And after created prototype and front end page, I have create JSON file and extra database data from this JSON. And when we enter doctor name, doctor information, also doctor information. And this is my doctor's name, doctor's informations, and doctor's location. Now we have moved to step 4. So after created HTML and CSS code converted, I have create and use JavaScript for backend, and this is my JSON file code. And now we have moved to step 5. After creating front end and after creating front end code and back end code, we are connecting to front end. And now we uploading all JSF files and front end code on website, and this website 000webhost.com. And now this is my website link, so I will show you. And this is my front end design. This is my index part, and this is my banner section. And this is my find the right doctor and and at your fingerprints. And this is my specialist. So why you choose VR, and this is feedback. So let's search the doctor name and their location. And this is the doctor name and their location. And now look at there. Wait a second. And now we have moved next part. And this is I have used application within the project. So first of all, I have used Figma for front end design, and then next one is Locofy AR for exporting code into HTML and CSS code. With the help of Locofy AI, I have convert my front end code with HTML and CSS, and now I have all zip files upload on 00webhost.com, and with the help of host.com, I can check my code with the application. And next one is, this is my conclusion. In conclusion, the Doctor Search website project successfully addressed the challenge associated with finding and selecting suitable healthcare provider and suitable doctors. And this is my reference page. This reference which we help to create a website and presentations also. And next one is, thank you for watching and asking any questions regarding this project.
Okay, so I hope you are done with your presentation, Nidhi.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, when you are doing a presentation, as I always said, start by giving what is the client requirement, and you did. That was a pretty good introduction, I would say. But work on your hook. Don't say it like now we will see the introduction. Okay, make it look like a story, a timeline where you are like going step by step. So don't say like we will look at the introduction now, we will look at demonstration now. Make it look like a story. Make the flow of your presentation. You need to work on that. Uh, and also in the conclusion slide, I think more improvements can be done. Okay, so let us say you can enter the results that you are getting, or if there are any improvements in the result that you can make, or what are the limitations, or what are the future scope of your project, right? Because you have done the task, but while doing the task, you must have realized what are the remediation and other things, right? So in the presentation, we are expecting you to address those things. And other than that, see, your story needs to be improved. Hook was great. Okay, I would say it is okay for being your first presentation. It was great, but it can be improved.
Yes,
There
sir.
is a lot of room for improvement, I would say. Okay, you make a script of what you are going to say, practice it, and then say you have a talent for explaining, but you need to work on your script, like what you are saying, or what the terms that you need to use. Your PPT was okay, but PPT can also be improved. And in the demonstration, I think the doctor result was getting on the next page when you click on result. So that needs to be in the same page, right? Because your
Yes, sir.
page is a single page application. So you need to make sure that results are appearing on the same page itself. Okay. So try to fix that
Okay,
and
sir.
upload it in the technical support chat after you have fixed it. Okay. So
Okay, sir. Okay,
yeah,
sir. Thank you, sir.
yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So is there anyone with the general queries? You guys can let me know. And as for Abhilasha, Nidhi, and Gopal, we'll have your presentation tomorrow. Nidhi, you can stop this tension now. Because we are
Yes, sir.
out of time now. It is already 9 p.m. So Abhilasha and Gopal, give your presentation tomorrow. Join on 7 p.m. I will take your presentation first before anyone else. Now moving on to, I believe there was some person with the question on task. Was it Kashish?
Very, very good evening, sir.
Yeah, can you turn your cam on?
Okay, sir. Wait a minute, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, sir, can you explain about the presentation?
What is the name of your task?
Stock trading application using Java.
Is it the name of your task or project?
This is project name, sir.
What is the task name?
Wait a minute, I can tell you.
Okay.
Sir, presentation title, overview of projects in Synopsis.
Or your project synopsis, right? So you just need to give, like, make a project synopsis on how you will complete the entire project. Okay. So make
Okay.
it in a timeline format, like in week 1, what you are trying to achieve. And when you say like, what are the features in your application? So explain more in depth, like how you are going to achieve that, right? Make a documentation of entire procedure, and then you can present it by making a PPT. In Java, there is no need to create documentation, like don't need to present it. But in the PPT itself, we are expecting you to and complete, like, include everything that will be including your front end, back end, API creation, and other things also. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, can you reschedule my presentation?
What is the date of your presentation?
Sir, 20 June. Today date.
If you are able to complete it by tomorrow, you can give it, or most I can
sure.
do is 23.
Okay, sir, sure.
But try to do it by tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, thank you so much, sir. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you, Kashish. So next is Asim.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Asim, can you turn your camera?
Yes, sir.
What is your query?
Sir, can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Prithia, I will come to you. What?
So this is my second task. Okay, so I this task instruction that validate and identify email ID and password. I have to create the new account or what, sir? I don't understand.
Sorry, can you increase the volume of your mic? So you need to know what you need to do in this test task, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait.
About
Are you from which group?
Sir, cloud computing. Amazon Web Service, AWS.
Okay, so set up simple Amazon Web Service email. Set up Amazon simple email service, right?
Yes, sir.
So the email is provided to you, right? And the password is also provided to you.
Yes, sir.
And domain name that you need to validate is also provided to you.
Yes, sir.
So you want access to Trello card?
No, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. I want to access the Trello card, and also I not get anything about Trello card here also.
So do one thing, give me your email. I will ask the answer to add you in the Trello card. Okay.
Chat, sir. In chat, can I give?
Yeah, in the chat, give your email. Yeah.
So can I get any reference, sir, about you? What reference?
Wait. So I will send the references to you in the email itself by tomorrow evening. Okay.
And also, sir, in afternoon 4 p.m. I talk with him technical chat, and also call me, and I give the reference. But sir, till now I not get reference, so I join in the meeting. And
Yeah,
also
sure. I will send the references to you by tomorrow evening on this same email. Okay. I will send it from my email. My email is Yashchandra.S.Upadhyay913@gmail.com. Okay. So you will receive it by tomorrow evening. Also, the Trello, the Trello information will also be sent to this email itself. So when I send you the sign up for the Trello, it will be on this email. And when you sign up, use this email only. Okay. Then you will be able to access the Trello card. Okay. So let me know if you don't receive it by tomorrow evening.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So anything
Okay, sir. And my fast touch is completed. And I got 2 dates, sir. Today date, tomorrow date.
You can do it on tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you,
Good night,
sir.
sir. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, sir. So we'll move to Prithvi.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Please turn your camera.
Sir, I had enrolled for the data science internship, and I
Okay.
was given the project future location prediction system using data IQ. I had received the Trello card as well, but I clicked on it so that I can download the data set, and I was asked to request access
Okay.
after.
Your email.
Okay, sir. Should I put it in the chat?
Yeah.
Just a second, sir.
You will get option to sign up and sign up with this email only. Okay. We'll give access to the email that you provide.
Okay, sir. And another thing is that where exactly should I give my progress report? Because I did not see a data science group in the technical chat support. So on the first day, I uploaded my data progress report in the general queries.
Yeah, sure. You can do it in general.
I can do it over there. And if I want to like join a Trello group and interact with fellow data science interns, will I get access to that group as well?
Yeah, we can give it to you on this email only.
On this email ID.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, no problem. And I would also like an extension, sir, because if I did not have the data set and I could not proceed with the work.
Yeah, sure, no issues.
No issues, right? I had my deadline issued for 22nd. So
you can
how long?
Make it on 27th.
27th?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
No
can
problem.
do the presentation on 27th.
Okay. Okay, sir, no problem. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Yeah, thank you. Good night. Okay, so I believe we are done with everyone. So we'll end the session here. Thank you for joining, everyone. People whose presentation are left, join tomorrow. We'll take your presentation tomorrow at 7 p.m. So thank you and have a good night.